Aussie Island fam, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another vlog. Your girl Nellz here, of course, as you can see. And I remember this morning that I told you all that I would show you all how I make my homemade syrup and homemade creamer for my iced coffee. So because I have to make some, because I'm out of it, and I can't, not that I can't, I don't want to leave the house to go to Peppercorn because of the whole pandemic and all of that. Because I don't want to leave the house for all of that, I have been making homemade creamer and homemade flavoring for my iced coffee. So today I will be showing you all how I do that. So let's get into it. Don't sit a long talk and thing, right? So I'm going to get everything organized and I will show you all how I do that. Make my creamer and my flavoring for my iced coffee. So if y'all want to know how I do it, stick around. Yeah. Alrighty, so I have 2 cups of milk, like normal milk. I use powder milk for this. There is another way that I saw on YouTube that you can use condensed milk and carnation milk, but I tried that way. It's not bad, but I like this way better, which is a way I made up for myself. I didn't see a video or anything. I just decided to do it like this. So I have 2 cups of milk. I mixed powder milk and water. So 2 cups of milk. I'm not exactly sure how much powder milk I put in it because I just add to my discretion of how milky I wanted it to be, right? So 2 cups of milk and then a cup of granulated sugar, white sugar, because I don't want to change the color of the milk, even though it is kind of changed a little bit, but yeah. So 2 cups of milk, 1 cup of sugar, and then I add cinnamon, essence, and some other stuff which I will show you all while I'm adding it to the pot, because that's when I add it in the pot. So let me put the pot on the stove and get started. Bah! I got my pot. Yeah, have a little bit of water in it. That's from when I washed it. So let me get that out. So my pot, and I'm going to add my 2 cups of milk in there, and then I'm going to add my sugar. So I'm adding my cup of sugar, and what I do, because I don't want the sugar to settle on the bottom and you know, stick or whatever, I'm going to stir it until all the sugar dissolves. Make sure it have no sugar crystals. Just stir and stir and stir, and for some reason the phone refuses to focus. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. So I'm stirring until all the sugar dissolves. Okay, so now that the sugar is completely melted in, I usually go ahead and add all the other things to this milk, which I'm adding some cinnamon. Not too much, pretty milk tastes like cinnamon, but just enough so it doesn't taste super milky like it just came from a cow. So some cinnamon, and then obviously our Angostura bitters. We're gonna add some bitters to that, just a couple drops. I usually add essence, but I forgot that I'm out of essence, so yeah, we're gonna add bitters. So I'm gonna put in a few dashes of bitters and stir it in and let it come to a boil, but make sure your stove is on the lowest heat because you don't want your milk to overboil and bubble over, and then yeah, so you just want it to boil and reduce just a little bit, not too much, because remember I have sugar in there, so you don't want to turn it into syrup. So yeah, so I'm going to stir this in now. It looks real weird now. I'm just going to stir this in and let it come to a boil. I hate when the cinnamon gets lumps, and that's why I strain it, so that if the cinnamon does make lumps, I won't get lumps in my stuff because I strain it afterwards. So yeah, just let that heat up and come to boil, and that, my friends, will be your creamer. You could add flavoring to this if you want, but I usually don't. I just add like my cinnamon and my bitters and my essence and stuff like that, and the sugar with the milk, and let it boil, and then strain it and put it in a bottle. Also, do not put it in the bottle straight from the stove if you're using a plastic bottle, because you will melt the bottle, because that's what I did. And if you're putting it in a glass bottle, put the glass bottle in a bowl of water and then put the hot liquid in it. If not, just let your liquid cool first and then pour it in the bottle, because I melted my bottle that way. So yeah. Alrighty, so now that it's come to a boil, I'm just going to stir it because I don't want it to overflow, and let it simmer for like a minute. And then, sorry for the baby crying in the background, but I'm going to let this simmer for a minute, and then I'm going to take it off and put it aside and let it cool before I put it into my container or my bottle or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's a creamer, and now we're going to move on to the flavoring. Yeah. Alrighty, now for our flavoring syrup for our coffee. So we are going to add water. Yeah, the pot was already hot, sorry. So we add in some water, about a cup of water. And then we are going to add a cup of sugar. And we are going to stir that and make sure the sugar melts, because we don't want the sugar to clump. Nor do we want it to get brown, because it will change the color of our syrup. So we're going to stir, 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 stir until this is dissolved. And once it's dissolved, then we'll add our flavoring. So let's keep stirring until it dissolves. Okay? So I'll get back to you when there's no more sugar at the bottom of my syrup. Okay, so now that my sugar is all dissolved, it's dissolved, I'm going to add my coconut flavoring. Focus now. The struggle is real with this, huh? Right, so I'm going to add my coconut flavoring, and this is the only flavoring I have all here. I'm actually waiting for the store to open back up so I can get my butternut flavoring and my hazelnut flavoring. So now that it's dissolved, I'm going to add some of that to this liquid. There we go. And stir it in, and it should be done, because we don't want the liquid to start to make, you know, the kind of string to make it thick, because we don't want it thick. So yeah, I'm going to stir it up and I'll show you guys the end result. Okay, so the flavoring is in the syrup, and we're just going to let that simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes or less, depending on how fast your lowest heat on your burner is. So I'm just going to leave it for about a minute or two, and then I'm going to take it off, let it cool for a bit, and transfer it into my glass jar. And that will be my flavoring for my coffee. So y'all seen it making little bubbles. So, you know, the minute almost over, so I'll take it off soon, because we don't want it like syrup, right? As you can see, it's bubbling, bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. So yeah. Alright, so there it is, people. I have coffee, which I just took instant coffee and dissolved it in water and then put it in the fridge and let it get cool. My homemade creamer and my sauce liquid, aka my flavoring. Yes, I watch Canon Rider on TikTok, and his content is coffee related all the time. Well, not his content per se, but he's always drinking coffee in his content, and people on his channel tend to call his flavoring sauce liquid because it's in a mason jar and it looks sauce. So I have my own homemade sauce liquid. So the trio right there, I don't have any toppings or anything, I know, but the trio is right there: the coffee, the creamer, and the syrup for iced coffee, which I'm going to make a cup of iced coffee now and enjoy my day. Yay. Let's try to do this with one hand, because the other hand holding the phone. So don't mess the cup, don't mess the cup, don't mess the cup. So we got some ice. The ice. Because we can't have iced coffee without ice, right? fill up the cup with ice. Lots and lots and lots of ice. Okay, that one's too big. Ice. There we go. Hold on a sec. So we just got us the coffee. I recorded me pouring coffee into the cup and then I accidentally deleted it. So coffee, 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 coffee. Now we're gonna add the creamer. Only I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me. So now some creamer. And then of course the prostarine stones or sauce liquid. That's it. Coffee, people. Coffee. That's it right there. Put it on the top. Poke it around so we mix it up. And we got ourselves some iced coffee, people. Iced coffee. Yay. Alright, so that's it, y'all. That's how I make my flavoring and my creamers for my coffee creamer. So that's the end of the video. So thanks guys for watching. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so by clicking that big red with that says subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you guys can get notified every time I post a video. Share this video with all your friends. Like it if you like me, if you like us, if you like my shenanigans. Come back here every Monday, Wednesday and Friday for another vlog. Not Monday, Wednesday and Friday. What's it? Come back here every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday for another vlog. And be sure to check out our Pasta Pot series every Friday from now on until I decide to stop. Okay, so thanks again guys for watching and I will see you guys next time on the island. Bye bye. Go and enjoy my iced coffee and live my life.